I've made a few elevators. Big, small, you name it, I've probably made it. All of which took weeks, if not months, of block placing and yelling at my TV. But I've only got 5 hours to record this video and I still want to add the 33% of this. Which brings up the question, how fast can I make an elevator? By the way, please sub and try and hit 1 million by the end of the minute, and depending on how well this does, I may make another, so like. This is how I intend to speedrun an elevator. Anyways, hold up, I can't make this too easy for myself, so give myself some rules and hopefully make it a little bit more challenging. Why have I done this? Anyways, the timer is all set up, let's go start. So I'm going to be focusing on the actual elevator itself. On my very ever first videos, I first showcased this elevator, but instead of building the whole thing, I'm going building half of it, just because it saves time and it also makes it a little bit more seamless. Then if I send an update to this observer, as you can see, the whole thing will move upwards. There we go. If I activate these pistons at the exact same time as it's here, the flying machine cannot go anywhere. So if I take a redstone repeater coming off of this, that's got that one covered. I can't do it straight up there, so I have to make sure that I can be able to turn this on and off. But actually, if I were to do this, but if I use a comparator, I could do that. And then if I set this to subtract mode, activate this, as you can see, it turns off. Yes, there we go. That's what I want. Oh, slabby. If I do this, send it back up, does it stop it? Yes, it does. There we go. And I can send it back down. It does grab it, but then again I have to send a signal to this piston once again, because for some reason it let go of this. I don't know why, but it did. So anyways, I'm thinking here's going to be my very first floor, and then there is another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that's 5 floors, and of course each of these floors is going to have safety doors. As what I need to do is make sure that it only extend these pistons for a certain amount of time. As let's say if I kept these on, there's no way the elevator can go up and down anymore. It's just stuck in place and the floor is holding on to it with all its might. I've just kind of made a redstone clock. So now let's say if we were to send this back down, what happens? I'm hoping it'll stop. What should happen? So it'll stop in place. And then, no, that is not what we want in the slightest, actually. Then now, this is the big test. What happens when we send it downwards? I'm hoping it'll work. I really am. So we send it downwards. That catches it. Oh, that was so close. I'm having to rebuild the whole elevator as it decided to break on me. We can send it back down again. And then, will this stop? Yes! It worked! So there should be this side's doors all connected up. There should just be able to link this up to here. Upwards. Yes, it does go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate this on every single one of the floors, as of course, this thing has 5 floors. It's taken me 18 minutes to build one. Anyways, I do believe that is the second layer grabber system all done. And it looks so much simpler without the flying machine. And then I'm pretty sure that it's level 3 double. What we can do just to test it is activate this, and does this stop at level 3? Almost. What on earth went wrong here? So now I should be able to replicate these on the final 2 floors, and I've just realised I built half of this on the wrong level. Level 4 done. And so that should be all the level stopping doors, safety doors, things, yeah, hood done. I just got to test the last one, and then yeah, then we can move on to the more fun but 100% more harder stuff. So yeah, just to double check, it does in fact stop on that. Anyways, now we got to figure out where we're going to be doing our item floor selections, and I've been told that I have to use item frames, which only makes it harder. So that's where the item frame is going to go. Actually, I need to move this over as it's a little bit too close to the sticky piston. There we go. And then now what I've got to figure out what to do is, of course, there is 5 item frames here, but there's only ever going to be 1 floor selection. So we can't have all these 5 item frames going into the same place. That's just no good fun. So what I've got to do is I've got to think of a circuit that could only have one of these item frames running at the same time. But luckily, I've done that multiple times, so this should be pretty easy. I have completely forgotten how to do this. I am literally watching one of my older videos right now and have to completely just watch my tutorial of how to make this. I have the first one done, and then now that I have 2 floors in place, I can actually show you what this whole circuit thing does. So let's say if we were to twizzle this item frame, as you can see, this comparator turns on, and that one should have turned off, but it didn't. There we go. See, look, it turned off. And then now, if we were to go ahead and twizzle this, as you can see, that one turns on, this one turns off, we mess about with this one turns on, and that one turns off. So basically, it knows exactly where you are, and it'll only let that floor send signals downwards. Coming up to 1 whole hour of building this thing already. That's a little bit ridiculous. I thought I'd be done by now. Clearly not. 3 more of these to go. Then I've got 1, 2, and 3 in place. But yeah, final for number 4 and 5 to go now. Anyways, so now I have the first 4 floors in place. Got the last one to do now, and so far it's taken me 1 hour and 5 minutes to design all of this. And then that is all 5 of these layers all done. I just gotta make a trail of comparators going all the way down to the ground. And then put a redstone going into a block, down, redstone going into a block, in front, down. And basically what's going to happen is this should link up perfectly to the other comparator. Yes, it does. And then I can just do this all the way to the ground, and then essentially then whichever of these comparators is on should be the only signal that this line is going to detect and send it all the way down. So I just gotta make this go down to the ground. Yeah, then now that I've got all of this going all the way down, this very last thing, I need this to go into some sort of like, I've forgotten the word, it's like it's something. Basically, let me build it and then you guys will recognize what it does. But luckily for me, it's only 5 blocks wide, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As of course, I only have 5 floors, so that's nice. If I were to take an output from this, let's say if we go ahead and set one of those item frames to 5 or 1, it should replicate these on these repeaters. So if I were to set this to 1, that should have turned on. How am I managed to break this? This is like meant to be not breakable. Hey, there we go. I fixed it just by doing whatever this is over here. Redirecting the redstone. But now what I should be able to do is just make a line of things going up all the way to the top to each of these different floors. So this has to go to floor number 1. So basically, as this one is activated, I do want to go to floor number 1. What this redstone torch is going to do is it's literally just going to be turned off and then go into this. So this is active. But let's say you want it, we're not going to floor number 2, as of course we only have floor number 1 detected. So what we're going to do up here is make this so that it is not active, and to do that, what I'm going to do is link a solid line from an on redstone dust into here, just like this. So that will keep that on, so even if this flying machine isn't here, it will still not work. And of course I can do that with floor number 3. And then just link that up. There we go. And then floor number 4. Then we can link this up to here, and just like that. And then finally number 5 over here. Just link this up, and then that is that whole bit done and dusted. So now all I've got to do is find a way to send the actual elevator up and down, which I probably should have thought of before I did all of this, to be honest. And I'm also going to have to rebuild all of this because... oh no. Yeah, it kinda collides with each other. Let me go ahead and rebuild literally everything I've just been doing. I've also managed to get this stuck somewhere. What? And there we go. I have now literally just went ahead and rebuilt everything a couple blocks lower. I've had to do some weird wiring over here just to make sure that it did in fact work. But everything's working fine now, which is all good. So yeah, now I've got to go ahead and figure out how to send these elevators up and down from each one of these floors. So to send it up from this bottom floor, it shouldn't be too difficult. All I should have to do is do something like this. Let's send it up all the way to floor number 3. So as you see, this changes to floor number 3, and then now let's say if we are to update this, send this up, it should not stop at floor number 2. It should go straight past it. Like, which it does. The doors do open, but that's fine. But then what it should do is stop at floor number 3. Which it just didn't. It decided not to, which is not very nice. And I've sent it up. No. This is not good. This is not good. See, I saved it. You can activate this to go up, and then to go down, you'd have to activate this. And then that is going to be for every one of these levels. So now number 2 is activated, and then where is it? It is here, so then I can send it downwards by activating this. Send it down, and off it goes. Then it should stop on number 2. Nicely done. this may be a problem, as to send it up from number 3 it uses this repeater, but to send it down from number 2 it would have to have like a repeater here. But actually I could just literally do this and then something like that. I could literally just do something like this with a sticky piston on it, and then observer over here, which means that when this is activated it will send a signal to this block, and then that will send this down, and we can actually just test this out by simply sending it down. Oh no. Oh, I'm an idiot again. I've already broken this again. We're building this for the second time today, and then I can literally just replicate these on every single one of these floors. And then that should be all the ups and down circuits all done and built. Now I just have to find a way to determine whether or not it's going to go up or it's going to go down, and I think I have a pretty good way to find that. So basically what this is doing is these sticky pistons over here, these are going to determine whether or not it's going to send it down or up. So for example, when it goes here, it's going to go down, or when it's here, it's going to go up. So it's getting kind of really complicated now, so I'm sorry that I'm not talking too much, I'm just concentrating. But the problem I have is that this circuit over here has to be connected with this sticky piston up here, but there's quite a difference between these two cores. This has to be connected with this one, so basically it's just a bit annoying really. And I think I've just found a way to do it, which is very, very cool. So what the circuit that I've just been working on does is basically, so what's going to happen is the system is going to activate this redstone dust, and basically whether or not this sticky piston here is extended or retracted will determine whether or not it's going to go up and down. So let's say we push this, it'll go over here and activate this, which will make it go upwards. But let's say if the sticky piston is retracted, it'll go back in and activate this circuit, which will go all the way up here into here, which will then activate this and make it go downwards. So essentially what the plan is basically, let's say that I want to go to the 3rd floor, is these two bottom ones here both push up, or both send a slime machine up, and these two top ones will both send it down. No matter where the elevator is, whether it's on these first two or these top two, it's always going to go downwards or upwards to the 3rd floor. This can go into a torch tower, which should be here, and I can send this straight into this, as that would be pushing it downwards. Yeah, and I can also have a torch tower going upwards. I somehow managed to make this spacing as bad as possible for me, and I have just thought I have made it so much more complicated than I need it to be. Like this can all go. Wait, no, I need that. I really should not do things so quickly. Now I need to rebuild it again. So what I will have to do is a redstone line going down. It's essentially what I did it the opposite way round. So let's say you wanted to get to floor number 4, you'd have to activate 1, 2, and 3 to get to 4. So if you're counting to 4, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, not 6, 5, 4, which is the way that I had it around. All this is very logical based, so it's alright if you don't get what I'm on about, because it is very confusing. But yeah, I essentially just had it counting downwards instead of counting upwards, and now I'm going to have to flip it around. Yeah, that should be it. That should be pretty much everything. I just have one tiny last thing to do, and that is this little bit at the bottom over here. So this will just go straight into a pulse extender, and then something like that, and then that will go straight into a thingy. I'll first go into a redstone torch, but then go up into sticky piston, which will then go into here, which will then go straight into that. And I do believe that is done. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. What happens? Apparently nothing. Oh, I'm such an idiot. So now let's try that again. Let's go all the way to the top. No. Oh. I mean, it is going down, but then again, this top one doesn't have a choice whether or not it wants to go down or up. And it has stopped on floor number 2, which is cool. Anyways, here is the final product. As you can see, this thing turned out absolutely insane. It's insanely gigantic. I mean, look at the size of it. I've decorated it all and made it look nice and pretty and whatnot. But we can come to the bottom floor. We can change this down to number 1. And believe it or not, it'll make its way down to number 1. As you can see, it has started moving, and I'm just at the bottom here. Hello. And just like that, it has arrived. Now, let's say you wanted to go all the way up to let's make it easy for it. Let's just go all the way up to number 4. So we'll get in the inside of the elevator. You know how an elevator that I've made works by now. Even though it's a flying machine, it's still pretty quick. It's not slow in any way, but of course it's not fast. And yes, the doors do open every time you go past the floor, but to be honest, just think of that as a benefit. I mean, you can get out if you really wanted to. And we are on number 4. I've just not put the signs there for some reason. Ah well. But let's say you wanted to go down to number 3. It just takes a little while to start, but once it gets going, it's absolutely fine. And we are making our way down to number 3. Now I do have a question, is would you like a tutorial for this? Obviously I'll compact it down, I'll make it better. Would you want a tutorial for this kind of thing? Or would you want to see more videos in this type of style? Of course, it's the first time of me ever doing this. Anyway, that's all from me. Like, subscribe, share with all your friends and your grandmas and stuff like that. Anyway, that's all from me, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.